The basic portfolio consisted of a stock index fund and a bond fund. Why might we vary from this basic portfolio? One, you might want, or why would you vary from this basic portfolio? Number one is because you want to put actively managed funds in your fund, and you might want to do that for any one of a number of reasons. You might have looked at the FAMA models that we looked at earlier and know that there's biases in the approach of just investing in a broad-based index fund, and you want to take advantage of those factors. So that would be one reason you would want to go into active managed fund. Having said that, remember, active managed funds typically have higher cost, and therefore you need higher returns just to cover those costs. Another reason why you might want to vary from this basic portfolio is you want a higher expected return, and with that you get higher risk. You want to have a higher return than the 100% stock index fund. So what can you do? Well, obviously you put less in bonds and you get up to 100%, but then you begin to put more in higher risk funds. So you keep putting in money in higher risk funds, and that might be small or mid-cap funds or growth funds, for example. And there's other examples of higher risk, higher return funds. Another reason why you want to vary from the portfolio is you want lower risk. And with that, you're going to get lower return. And I would say, do not do that. If I were you, do not do that. But don't blame me when things go wrong. If you're looking at a very low return, you are cutting back your expected returns a great deal, and you're really reducing the amount of funds that you would have towards the end of the retirement. If you wanted to do that though, you would put in lower risk stock funds like income funds, and you would put more of your portfolio in bond funds. Finally, you want more diversification. You can get diversification by adding two sorts of funds and others, but two sorts of funds that many do, and that's international funds. The funds that we were looking at, the stock fund was U.S. companies. You could add international funds to that, or you could also add real estate, REITs, to your portfolio. So those are some items that you could do. I would point finally to the portfolio in Gretchen Tai, and that's linked. That's the NPR article. It is linked in this video description. But she had these various categories: stocks, and she typically invested. Here you can see her stocks: low expense index funds, foreign development equity, and again her point of doing that is to add some diversification in foreign equities, emerging market stocks that would add more expected return and risk. And then she had core bonds, high yield bonds, long-term bonds, and finally global REITs. All right, so that would be her portfolio suggestions, and you can see they're much broader than that first portfolio of just a stock index fund and a bond index fund.